Blog Talk Radio.
The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Your host is here for the show tonight to interview our special guest. Show highlight. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. 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 Basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, boxing, tennis, golf, and racing. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. Tune in for all the news and scores, reporting on the games and so much more. The Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. The Alan Alford Sports Talk.
Definitely appreciate you guys. So it is going to be awesome. All of the songs tonight are brought to you by none other than Sam Scola Songs. So definitely, we're going to talk a lot more about Sam Scola and his great music. Welcome to the Alan Alford Sports Talk Show. So before we get the show started, let's go ahead and thank one of our great sponsors, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. So delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. Feel free to visit my great friend Chef G's right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida, 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, that's all right. You have the opportunity to still go ahead and get some great, delicious, magnificent sauce. This sauce is just phenomenal. You have an opportunity to go ahead at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida, I mentioned, or you can feel free to visit Chef G's right there at FLBBQSauce.com. Again, it's FLBBQSauce.com. You can't go wrong either way you go. And what we're going to do is go ahead and show you guys and listen to that great song of Sam Scola, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, so delicious and addicting, you may need a support group. So let me go ahead and play that great music. Let's do that right now.
Comes in for variety, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, a natural flavor. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs, tasty fusion on pork and sausage, a classic taste for chicken steak tips, a hot heat wave on meatballs and ham. It's a cookout treat. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. So delicious and addicting. You may need a support group. Definitely feel free to visit Chef G's right there, once again, at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. And if you can't come down to Tampa, that's quite all right. Feel free to visit Chef G's right there at flbbqsauce.com. Again, it's flbbqsauce.com. You definitely cannot go wrong with some great sauce from Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. It is fantastic, delicious, wonderful, and magnificent, all in the same breath. You can't go wrong here. And in fact, let me go ahead and let you guys know Chef G's sauce is fantastic. Definitely, you guys can comment right there. Also, don't feel free to comment right there on the chat, or you can call in 516-418-5572. Yeah, that's 516-418-5572. So, yes, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our first great caller of the day. Let me do that right now. All right, how you doing?
All right, Alan, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always great to hear from you, Lou. Man, this guy's a legend.
Thanks.
How you been?
I don't know if I can call myself a legend, but thanks anyway for the vote of confidence.
No problem. And speaking of confidence, you might be right on this one. As far as the Mavs and the Celtics handled them pretty good the first game. What are your thoughts on how this is going to go?
I wasn't surprised at this at all, especially, at home at TD Garden. I was going to say the other area, but that's not where it is anymore. And with Porzingis back in the lineup, how could they miss? I mean, you have Luka and you have Irving on the other side, but I don't think how they can match up against the Celtics. And if last night was any indication, how the series is going to go, it might be a very short series. I'm thinking sweep. A lot of people think you're crazy, but then again, thank you. You know what I'm saying? But, the way I see it, I mean, they've been dominant all season. They've only lost once in the playoffs this whole postseason. They did fine without Porzingis in this playoffs. So, we're getting that again, Alan. Alan, I'm still here.
Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. All right. So how can you not miss? I mean, if they can do so much good without him, imagine how dangerous they're going to be with him in the lineup.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition right there. I'm hoping that the Mavs make it a series. It's not looking too good with that first game. Granted, it is just one game, but the Mavs got to at least win a game. You got to at least win a game.
Well, maybe they'll have better luck when they go to Dallas for games 3, 4, and 5. But if they can't, win at least game 3, forget it.
So, do you think, in all most likelihood, it's going to be a sweep or one game? You think Dallas gets one game? You don't even think they get that one game? You're sounding like.
I think Boston's been just too dangerous all year. Why would they surrender now?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, you got the crowd rocking. You got the crowd rocking Boston. With the history, the nostalgia. You're right. Yeah, I mean, you got to bring home the championship.
I wish I wasn't.
You got to bring home the championship.
I wasn't. Yeah. I mean, it's been 15 years, and they're, for Boston and Celtics fans, 15 years is a long time. So, kind of statement that's just as long as the Yankees.
Good with that first game. Granted,
but that's another strike another time.
But the Mavs got to at least win a game. You got to at least win a game. Yeah, I mean, that'll be something if it's a sweep. I mean, that'll be very impressive. The Mavs in a sweep. But I would say I wouldn't be shocked. The great thing is games 3, 4, and 5 are in Dallas. I will say that much.
Yeah.
You don't even think they get that.
That is a good thing, but it may not be enough. Why would they?
Yeah, you're right. It may not be after that beatdown. I mean, it is just game 1, but what I definitely do think after game 1, I hate to say it, I do think Boston's going to win the series. You know, they say usually a team that wins game 1 usually ends up winning the series, and not only that, the way they won game 1 shows that there's a gap, a pretty significant gap.
It's not just you won it; it was how you won it.
Right. It's how you won it. It wasn't a game that really was close. They smoked them. That it just bolsters their confidence, gets them even feeling better. I definitely do think they at least win game 2, that being Boston. And I think the best bet the Mavs have is to put up a fight back in Dallas. That's really.
It was a good thing. Yankees. I mean, the Knicks lost in round 2 because there's no way they would have beat the Celtics. I gotta look at it that way. I mean, if there's any consolation.
In Dallas. Yeah, you got a great point there.
Yeah, I know it sounds kind of weird, but it was a good thing they lost. But when you look at it, because Boston would have whipped them anyway.
After that beatdown, I mean, it's game 1. But you got a great point.
Kind of a strange omen.
Boston's gonna win the series. Yeah, you're right. They say usually a team that wins. And I'm going to talk more about this, too, since we're talking about basketball. What are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark and, the treatment she's getting and the way the league is?
Unfair. I really think they're being unfair to her. They're just jealous of her because she is great, but, she gets all the attention and whatnot, and that foul was uncalled for. I mean, they are really giving her a bum rap. I don't like it.
I agree with you 110%.
They're really knocking her. And her own teammates, for crying out loud. Come on. Really?
Yeah, it's just nonstop envy and jealousy around her. She's like an island all by herself. Where are your teammates at? That's a great point. Where are the teammates at? This girl clearly cheap shot her. I can understand you trying to teach a rookie about coming into the league. I get that. But you have to at least be making a basketball move. You can't just blindside her when she got her back to you. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not wrestling. I mean, the thing about it is like this. Her teammates, you could tell, are jealous. The people she's playing against is jealous. She's got no way to go.
It's one thing, if your opponents are jealous, I understand that. But your own teammates, no. No, that is not acceptable. I'm sorry.
The treatment she's getting. Yeah, your teammates are jealous. The people who are playing against her are jealous. So it's like she's literally on an island by herself. And it's a shame because, to me, the WNBA, I even saw an interview that Kelsey Plum did way before right after she won the second championship. So this is way before Caitlin Clark was in the picture at all. She even said that the WNBA needs more support. They need more people watching the games. They need, she was like saying that. She was saying how, and one big criticism she got when she did the interview was post-interview, people were slamming her because she was saying during the interview that she felt she should get some type of profit sharing with jersey sales. And they were like, hey, nobody buying your jersey. And plus the league is losing money. That's what the haters were saying, right?
Uh-huh.
So there is no profit to give you with your jersey sales, right? Fast forward to now you got a lot of momentum being the WNBA. She signed the hugest contract in the WNBA, as far as a player and the league, and then she got that big Nike deal. So to me, not only that, you have all these people watching the games now. You should be embracing this. Like, you should not be hating her for being successful. Like, okay, yes, maybe you didn't get the opportunity she got. I understand that. Yes, maybe you play better than she does, and you feel like you didn't get the opportunity. I understand that point too. However, it has been a proven fact that you were doing your thing. People were not coming out to see you. You understand what I'm saying? You can't just say, because,
I've been playing better than her. They should have been giving me all of that. People should have been watching me. It's proven people haven't been watching you. So you can't use that argument.
Yeah.
That's what the haters were saying, right? So you just think that it's bullying her. I think she's getting bullied too.
It is.
Right?
It's wrong coming from your own teammates. I mean, where does the teamwork in that? The team spirit. It doesn't seem to be it. You're just ripping your own teammate apart.
As far as a player. You're right. And to me, that's the worst thing to change is culture. The team got bad culture. The team has heart. That's why they lose all these games. You could clearly see it's bad culture. You should be embracing. You get your best player just knocked to the ground. You don't do anything about it. It's like, you should be. You should be sticking up for her. She shouldn't have to take on, people this size. With Caitlin Clark, though, I will say this much: she unfortunately is going to have to ride this through. And another thing with the bullies and all this hate, you better be careful not to injure her where you bush league hit her and she tweaks an ankle or something and she's out for a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Because then not only you got momentum now, but something like that happens, guess what? It's going to be setting the league back even worse than it was before she came to the league. Because people are going to be upset and, lack of better words, PO'd, and they're not going to watch a WNBA game. Yeah, they're just going to be, like you said, TO'd and just forget it. So go easy on that hating. You better, you're biting your own hand that's feeding you, like meaning you're hurting your own blessing.
Yes.
Because you might come out to a game and say, okay, I'm here to see Caitlin Clark, but you might be a player on the field and might just be balling, and they might remember your name just like they remember Caitlin's name.
Yeah.
With Caitlin Clark, though, I will say I know you're going to talk about this and a lot more, so tell us what you're going to be talking about.
Well, as I've said before, June is going to be a hectic month. I mean, we're going to be talking the NBA and NHL finals for one. And just to make a note of that, I'm going to say this right now. I don't know what the results are going to be like, but I can tell you right now, this is going to be, a low-scoring series. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goal scoring at all. A lot of defense. It's going to take monumental mistakes for this to happen. It's really a tough series to call. So I can't even take a winner right now.
And they're not going to watch the WNBA.
We'll also talk French Open Finals.
It's going to be, like you said,
UFL Playoffs.
Forget it. So
Major League Baseball, the Belmont Stakes.
You better. You're biting your own hand that's feeding you, like meaning
we'll have,
you're
of course,
hurting your own blessing.
Fan of the week. Yeah. Sports trivia. This week's sports history.
Game and say,
and your thoughts as well. So call 512-543-4662. Again, 512-543-4662. Tomorrow between 4 and 6 p.m. And remember, that's East Coast time.
I know you're going to talk about this and a lot more.
That's right.
What you're going to be talking about.
Make sure you call in 512-543-4662. 512-543-4662. And then that is between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Also, you can visit Lou right there on YouTube. Just type in The Enhanced Sports Show. And you'll get a chance to see Lou. It's going to be great times between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone.
And they're not going to watch the WNBA.
Make sure you that's right. Make sure you tune in, folks. Make sure you call in too. 512-543-4662 between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. It's going to be great times.
Here we go from a lot of trouble.
Appreciate you, Lou. Always a pleasure.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. You're the best.
I will.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And remember, that's East Coast time.
All right, folks. That's the wonderful Lou. Don't forget, 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, the Enhanced Sports Show. Again, that phone number is 512-543-4662. 512-543-4662. Yes. So There is a lot to unpack here. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you in just a moment. Let me go ahead and thank another one of our great sponsors. Let me thank none other than CTC ME Mortgage. Hey, CTC ME Mortgage. And let me go ahead and pull this up here so you guys get a chance to see it. It's just going to be awesome. And CTC ME Mortgage, we got a great song for them too. There's the guy right there, Kurt McCrae. Hey, if you need to go ahead and refinance your home, your guide to cash out refinancing starts here. I'm ready to guide you through the cash out refinance period. Get in touch now. If you're looking to go ahead and build equity, turn your home equity into cash, let's discuss that too. And then also, home ownership begins with a mortgage. If you don't have a lot of money to put down, that's quite all right. Kurt McCrae can help you. Kurt McCrae from CTC ME Mortgage can mark miracles for you. USDA, 100% financing available. Property must be located in a rural area. No monthly mortgage insurance. Owner occupied only. Minimum FICO score is 580. Full income documentation required. Minimum of 2 years employment required. Guess what? He can go ahead. He's your man, CTC ME Mortgage. Make sure you go ahead and give Kurt McCrae a call or text 346-527-7564, 346-527-7564. And then if you want to go ahead, you can also visit Kurt McCrae right there at ctcmemortgage.com, ctcmemortgage.com. In fact, we have another great song, and this is the CTC ME Mortgage song sang by none other than Sam Scola Songs. We're going to tell you a lot more about Sam Scola Songs. We're going to do that, but here you go. This is the CTC ME Mortgage song sang by Sam Scola Songs.
Mortgage company, they stand by their loyalty. CTCME, mortgage company, you can trust their honesty. Make the call today. There's no extra fees to pay. You can take a loan to own a new home. CTCME, mortgage company, they stand by their loyalty. CTCME, mortgage company, you can trust their honesty. Get a low interest rate. There's no need to wait. Finance a payment plan. Kurt McCrae is your man. CTCME, mortgage company. CTCME, mortgage company. CTCME, mortgage company.
CTCME Mortgage Company. Thank you so much, CTCME Mortgage. Again, that phone number to get in touch with Kurt McCrae, call or text is 346-527-7564, 346-527-7475. I beg your pardon, 7564. And you can visit them at ctcmemortgage.com. And that's ctcmemortgage.com. Let me say the phone number one more time, 346-527-7564. There you go. Make sure you give them a call. Let them know that the Allen Alfred Sports Talk Show sent you. So that's awesome. And, you know, one of the great things is that we're going to go ahead and talk about something that I did this week. And speaking of this week, it was yesterday. Okay. Let me go ahead and talk about this event. And let me pull this up here. NFL news. So this props got to go to the Tampa Bay Bucs. Let me give a loud round of applause to the Tampa Bay Bucs. Let me do that for them right now. And this is really, truly awesome what they did. Yeah, I mean, they had the cut and color, you know, for the cause for the cure. And that was an event where they would cut your hair, they would dye your hair. If you had a beard, they would dye it, or if you didn't have, you know, any facial hair, you had hair on your head, they would give you a haircut. And in some cases, people just improvised and they just sprayed their bald head. You know, that was awesome. It was an awesome event. Let me actually bring up and show you. This way you can get a chance to see it yourself. This was fantastic. Let me show you this right now. Yeah, that's awesome. That's Antoine Winfield Jr. You know, he just recently signed, folks. He recently signed to re-sign, that is, with the Bucs, and became the highest cornerback ever in league NFL history. And he's doing great things in the community. Big shout out to Antoine Winfield Jr. Big shout out to all the Bucs players. It is awesome. You know, they spray your hair, they cut your hair, give you a haircut. Gronk came out too. You know, that was awesome. And this is to help eliminate and find a cure for pancreatic cancer. That's a serious side of it for kids. And for the Bucs to come out and have this available for, you know, kids to get a smile on their face. There's a lot of kids' participation. It is just phenomenal. Let me get the Gronk's input on him showing up. Man, that's awesome. And this event, I was saying to myself, where have I been? Like, how did this event pass me by? And I realized and found out doing research myself, this was the first time the event was open to the public. So it was like a grand slam that I showed up. They sent an email about it. Just actually not much longer than the event. Just a few days before the event, I responded yes, and they gave a complimentary ticket, and they let the public in. And that was awesome. I am so honored that they gave me media access to cover this event. It was fantastic. You know, and let me, in fact, give you some more insight. Let me go ahead and show you this too. Yeah, that is Brian Ford, COO of the Bucs. Man, that was such an amazing event, and I was just honored just to be there and to work the media. Big shout out to Gronk, who was, I mean, there's people who participate and be supportive of an event, and then there's the Gronk. Gronk was just outstanding. You know, what I love about Gronk is that the guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer both on and off the field. He signed autographs, took interviews, took a bunch of pictures. I mean, he came there knowing that he was going to be the big star, if not the biggest star there. And he was real down to earth. Like he said, he was acting like a kid in a candy store.
that's what you need, not acting like he was bigger than anyone else. You would not think that this guy has multiple Super Bowl rings, played alongside of Brady, big mega contract, retired when he was like in his early 30s, and if not 30, I'd have to do the research again. But man, so down to earth, so awesome, so accountable to people, to the kids, and he kept saying, hey, I'll do anything for the kids, and he was not kidding. He got a haircut. You had him with the hat right there, but then he got the haircut. He got his hair dyed, signed autographs. Man, it was awesome. And then you had Gronk participating, Antoine Winfield Jr. You had also, you had so many people there. And also you had Mike Evans. I don't know if Mike Evans got a haircut, though. I'll be honest with you. I don't think. I think it was more like he showed up, did kind of like a vet move where you would see him there, did some interviews, but he dipped out when I saw him, but I had a pretty good eye on it. I did not see him actually sit down in the chair, get a cut. I could be mistaken on that. I didn't get any videos or picture of it, but nonetheless, he was there. It was awesome. And there's going to be more interviews and pictures that I'm going to release. I did release a lot the first day. I've tried, you have to have, this is like a science to it when it comes to posting up content. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want to get people just kind of, all right. We've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen enough for this event. I go to a lot of events and there's a balance to it. So the Brian Ford one was the first time you saw it exclusively. Now I'm going to put that one up. I didn't want to kind of mix them up with the Gronk. You also had Thaddeus Bullard, a.k.a. Titus O'Neil. I did an interview with him. I did post it up. I didn't want to kind of slip in Brian Ford with the other guys just because I didn't want him to be overshadowed by the other people. Fortunately, when you have celebrity and you have somebody who's a VP, executive, and also the man or female, but in like a executive position, you put them next to a celebrity, I'm sorry, even they're going to get overshadowed by the celebrity. So I'm going to put it up. But again, you have to be tactful when you do a lot of content. I got a lot, and I want to give shout outs to all of them. Ronnie Barber did an interview here on the Allen Alfred Sports Talk show. So did Thaddeus Bullard, a.k.a. Titus O'Neil. Let me just tell that, too, real quick. Congratulations to Thaddeus Bullard for his induction into Sports Hall of Fame. It was awesome. It was the night before. I didn't get a chance to go to the event the night before. So the fact that he was there and I got to interview him made up for that. And that was awesome. And I saved it for the right time. The reason why that's important because Thaddeus Bullard knows me, meaning Allen. He knows my name. He recognized my face when I show up to events. We cross paths from time to time. Thaddeus Bullard does a lot of wonderful work in the community. I'm the type of guy who does a lot of great things in the community as well, as far as All-Pro Dad team captain. I'm a great, fan of Tony Dungy, who's his great friend. So we just have a lot of things in common and those nature. Very supportive with kids' education and stuff. So we cross paths from time to time. We've actually done that. We actually saw him at the All-Pro Dad event that I put up for you guys with Tony Dungy this year and took a great picture on the field with him. That's why I didn't take a picture with him because, I got one not too long ago. That day was the first day I actually asked for an interview. And I saved my card for the right time because it was an awesome interview. And it was the right time because he just got inducted. Man, it was an awesome event. Prayers go out to all the families and the kids that are affected by pancreatic cancer. We really need to find a cure for this, to knock this out. I'm very hopeful, and definitely I love how that's one of the great things about technology. I know some of the older folks, they don't like technology. They don't like the evolution of technology. Even some younger folks don't like it, meaning you have gas-powered mowers. Now you see it's going to more electric, and this is how technology goes. But one great thing about technological advances is so does things when it comes to diseases. You learn more about it. You find cures. If you can't eradicate it, you learn how to prevent it or minimize it. So you learn a lot more information. I have no doubt with the great scientists we have and people supporting this cause, we will find a cure for pancreatic cancer and cancer as whole. And props to the Bucs for what they're doing. Can't say it enough. Cut and color event was awesome. 10-year anniversary. They already, like he said, he's already thinking about next year. I was thinking about next year while the event was wrapping up myself. So I am definitely going to be there. I pray that this opportunity that the Bucs gave me gives more opportunities for the Allen Alfred Sports Talk show, because it, that's the thing. Dexter Jackson knows me. We cross paths a lot. Dexter Jackson has basically a golf tournament on the 10th that's starting, and that's it. I keep up to date on what they're doing too. I actually would love to go to the golf tournament on December 10th. This 10th. Unfortunately, I have a schedule conflict, but you guys don't. So go and support Dexter Jackson. So yes, that event was awesome, and props again to the Bucs. Props. I can't thank them enough. Really, let me give them another round of applause. Yeah, that was awesome. Awesome event. Well done. Well executed. Whoever came with that idea 10 years ago deserves a raise. Fantastic. And then the All-UFL Awards. Oh, man. Let me just switch gears and talk about the All-UFL Awards. This one here is a doozy, folks. This one here is a doozy. Let me just quickly pull it up real quick here. I had it in front of me before, but I'm going to pull it up. It's not going to take me long at all. I actually posted them up on Instagram too. And yeah, I would just say, let me just pull it up real quick and I'll give you my thoughts on this. First and foremost, props to all the winners, regardless of what my opinion is or thoughts are. That cannot be overstated or undersaid. Props to all the winners who got the All-UFL offensive, defensive, special teams, and Coach of the Year. If you got recognized on this All-UFL team, congratulations to you. You deserve a round of applause, and let me give that to you right now. Yeah, a lot of times people, when they don't see eye to eye on something, they tend to overshadow that rather than congratulate the people who did win. It's outstanding. Really is. And great achievement. Having said that, I can clearly tell by the people that were selected on the All-UFL team, the majority were about your team record. Team record, I believe, had the biggest weight in this. Let me just tell you where I was not surprised. Let me start with the offensive side. Quarterback Adrian Martinez got the All-UFL Offensive Quarterback of the Year award. I know a lot of people threw out Luis Perez, and I covered the great Luis Perez for the entire season. He had every single number one stat on a quarterback. I even shared that post that Coach Bob Stoops put up of him being number one in every statistical category. Having said that, I was not surprised that they gave the award to Adrian Martinez. And let me explain to you why. Adrian Martinez had the most rushing yards out of anyone this year, which is surprising. He had over 500 rushing yards, over 100 yards more than his counterpart, John Lovett. I mean, that was shocking when I saw that. On top of that, he's been playing very good. Now, he doesn't have all the statistical accolades that Luis Perez has, but he does have one statistic that is going in his favor, and that is the wins column. You know, the Stallions have been winning. They just win at a record pace, and it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me at all that that they were 9-1. They were 9-1. They lost one game, and that's the first game they lost in about a year and a half. So, yeah, it did not surprise me that Adrian Martinez got that award. And in fact, I was kind of expecting him to get it. As much as I, think Luis Perez deserves an opportunity, and I hope he does get it in the NFL and gives him what he was looking for, a fair opportunity to come in, not, come in and compete, learn the playbook, get him adequate time for that. Watch that press conference I had with him, and he'll tell you in detail. But yeah, Adrian Martinez was not a surprise. Hakeem Butler was not a surprise there. Where the surprises came a bit, I would have to say it came with, Sal Canelo. I just felt like a lot of people did say this too. I know that record wasn't there. I know that, that was a factor, but Sal Canelo's numbers were outstanding. I felt like he was the number one tight end throughout the season. I would have to say prior to getting hurt, close between him and Cody. Cody got hurt, so by default, you kind of thought Sal Canelo was going to get it. Not so much that I would say Cody was way behind. They were neck and neck, but if you get an injury and the other person's playing and is still continuing their great pace, we all know usually what happens at that point, who they give it to in most cases. So I did think, Sal Canelo did get the short end of the stick on that. I was a bit surprised. That was a surprise to me. My first reaction when seeing this list, I kind of laughed at it too, because that was a shock. I thought John Levitt not getting the award too was a bit of a shock too. But again, they were looking at the record. You could clearly tell they were looking at the record. And I didn't have a vote in this. I know that. I just want to make sure I say that right here. I did not have a vote in the All-UFL team. It was not something I comprise of, not something I voted on. So I just want to make sure people understand that. I work in the media, but I did not vote on this UFL team. One thing I will say about Sal Canelo, I put up a post there with the Gronk, him signing. I thought it was a great thing for him to see it, because it would cheer up your spirits that, hey, you keep working hard, you get to the NFL. You could be another Gronk, man, where Gronk is showtime, man. I mean, there was a lot of fans that wanted his autograph. He definitely, a lot of people wanted his interview, myself included. I was so gracious that he did one here for the Allen Alfred Sportsbook show, but I wasn't the only one. He had to do quite a few interviews, and yeah, man, I think it's great for you to see somebody who's a tight end, plays your position. And to me, yes, Travis Kelce has a very good shot of surpassing Gronk, but there's still to be determined, and there's still a lot of yards, catches, and rings before he gets to the Gronk. He's not going to just get to the Gronk if he has a stellar season next year. He has to do a bit more than that, quite a bit more. To me, Rob Gronkowski is the number one tight end that I have ever seen play the sport in the NFL. I will say it like that. There's been some great tight ends, some great catchers, but if you look at his career, throughout his entire career, the amount of rings he has, the amount of tough catches he has, the amount of pressure points that he's had, as far as, Brady's throwing the ball to you, you got to catch the ball somehow, some way. Gronk is the GOAT. And even Shannon Sharp will say that. I totally agree. He's the GOAT. To me, he's the number one. Travis, again, has a chance to catch him. A very good shot. But he hasn't caught him yet, and he still has got a ways to go to catch him. Right now, the GOAT tight end is Rob Gronkowski in my mind. So glad that I got a picture with him. That was awesome. And even though the picture, it wasn't that easy, because, there was a lot of people. I was like one of the last people to get it. Even though I was taking a bunch of pictures of everyone else. Like, man, it'd be nice if I get a nice picture with the Gronk, And I did. Outstanding individual. And yeah, I definitely think those UFL awards were a bit shocking to me. They were. Yeah, I would have to say when I first saw it, it was a chuckle or two that they came across my face just because I'm like, wow, you really actually went ahead and robbed some people, you know? I was like, wow. You know, I mean, I know some other players had better records, but if it's an all UFL team, your record should play somewhat of a factor in it. Yeah. So we will see. The UFL has the playoffs coming up this weekend. For those who don't know, make sure you guys watch your ticket. What I think is going to happen as far as the UFL playoffs, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I don't think it's a slam dunk for the Stallions. I don't think it is at all. I know they had the best record, 9-1. But one of the things that I feel cost the DC Defenders the championship last year, and I reported this and I said it, it was actually, you know, the grace of God that I got a chance to cover the XFL championship last year. But more important, God has given me a grace and a great gift to notice certain details. The DC Defenders came in way too cocky to play against the Arlington Renegades, and that's why they lost. They were way too cocky. They, in their mind, in their mindset, we're so much better than this other team. It's almost a joke that we got to play them for the championship. We're going to just wash them, get our rings, and that's it. The DC Defenders were not watching, I guess, the last few games that the Renegades were playing. I watched the games, and I'm telling you, the Renegades saved their best football towards the end of the year. And I've said it several times, when it comes to winning a championship, it's not the best team always gets a championship. It's the team that plays the best at the time wins the championship. So you might have the best team, but if you don't play like the best team, the other team's going to win. And if you are not as good as the other team, but you're the better playing team, you're going to win. It's a team that plays the best at the time. That's what wins. The DC Defenders were just too cocky. And I said that. I said that before the game. I said it verbatim. I even said it in my prediction. I said if the Arlington Renegades go up 2 scores pretty quickly early in the game, it's going to be too much mentally for the DC Defenders to handle, and they're going to end up losing the game. Now, if they had it just shows you my mindset. If they had the mindset of, you know, guys, we're a great football team. We know we're better than them. But this team is going to come out and bring the best that they have in them. They've been playing some hot football, so we must make sure we execute. And if they start off and they get a lead on us, we're going to stand the course and put our dominance on them because we know we're better, and we're going to come back and win the game. So if they do get some scores early, just settle down. Know that you're the better team. We expected them to make a run on us. We expected them to not go out without a fight. Had they had that mindset, they wouldn't have been shell-shocked when they got 2 scores quick. When they got 2 scores quick, you could tell the DC Defenders folded. Not fold like quit, but you could tell that they were shell-shocked. And at this point, they were like backpedaling like emotionally, backpedaling in their confidence. Because they're like, how is this even possible? We must be garbage because they're 2 scores ahead of us. Well, if you had a better mindset saying that, hey, this team's going to fight and compete, you wouldn't have been as shocked that they had 2 scores, and you would have stayed the course. Mindset. Far as this playoff series, it's not over for the Stallions. I do think the Stallions will be one of the teams that will be in the championship game. On the other side, though, you know, they have a test. The Battlehawks have a test. And I do think we are going to get, at the end of the day, and I do think the Brahmas are going to give a fantastic fight for the Battlehawks. I really do. But I do feel as if The crowd noise is going to be a factor. The fact that the Brahmas did not get home field advantage did hurt against the Battlehawks. It is hard for you to play like there's nothing going on when you have that much noise going on. I know they're going to be prepared for it, but I just feel as if the Battlehawks will find a way to win the game. I do think we're going to get a Stallions Battlehawks face-off. It's going to be exciting. But I definitely do think it's going to be great to see. We will go ahead and find out. And move along. We're going to talk a little bit about, another event I went ahead and attended to. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and thank another one of our wonderful sponsors. And coincidentally, last Saturday, I traveled to New York City to see Darryl Strawberry get his number 18 jersey retired. I will discuss that event all in detail, and I'm going to do that. But before I do that, let me go ahead and give a round of applause for Darryl getting his number retired. Right, so if you want to travel, definitely you need to go ahead and reach out to Pushpin Adventures. That's right, Pushpin Adventures. Hey, you work too hard. You make this money. You go ahead. You want to kick up your feet. You want to enjoy a nice time. You want to relax and enjoy life because it's hard to make money nowadays, but it's easy to make the arrangements to go on a vacation. Make sure you go ahead and reach out to Monique right there at 626-838-1006, 626-838-1006. Pushpin Adventures can help you, and they can do a lot of great things for you. Great thing about Pushpin Adventures, they can help you go to a beautiful island. Yes, right. Pushpin Adventures can help. You know, they can also help you with something else here. They can help you if you want to go to a desert. They can help you with that too. I've never actually taken a desert vacation, but you have an opportunity to do that. You want to do a mixture of an island and some water. Guess what? Pushpin Adventures can help you. We're getting towards Thanksgiving. Pushpin Adventures can help you with that great, wonderful cruise. No kids, no cooking, Thanksgiving, whether it be group events, destination weddings, large amount of people you need to go ahead and make arrangements for. Definitely corporate events. Pushpin Adventures can help you. Monique, there she is. 3 things you don't know about me. My ultimate bucket destination is the moon, but she doesn't have that on itinerary. My favorite food is seafood. Pass me the crab broil, please, and thank you. And then the nice thing is, let me go ahead and let you guys see the third one. I majored in dance in high school. Go ham. So make sure you visit pushpinadventures.com or pushpinadventures.com/virgin to take advantage of this beautiful cruise right here. That is awesome. And the great thing is about Pushpin Adventures, we have another great Sam Scola song. We're going to go ahead and play that for you right now here on the Allen Alfred Sports Talk Show. Really appreciate Pushpin Adventures being a fantastic sponsor. Let's go ahead and play that great song, Pushpin Adventures, sang by none other than Sam Scola Songs.
Tour around the world. with Bushman Adventures. The best value deal with Bushman Adventures. Plan a getaway with Bushman Adventures. Escaping today with Bushman Adventures.
Bushman Adventures. Make sure you give them a call. Definitely get away. Call Michelle. Call Monique. I beg your pardon there. And you're going to get a chance to go ahead and get a great opportunity. Call Monique at 626-838-1006. That is Monique, 626-838-1006. Please call Monique. She's going to take great care of you. You're going to have an opportunity to have one heck of a time. That's right. There you go. Monique is going to take great care of you. 626-838-1006. Again, that's 626-838-1006. Or definitely you can visit them right there at pushpinadventures.com. And if you're interested in that cruise, /Virgin, give them a call today. Let them know that the Allen Alfred Sports Talk Show sent you. So that is awesome. That is fantastic. And yes, we're going to talk about an event I went to, and that was all the way from Tampa, Florida to New York State. Now, for those who don't know, I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I lived from Brooklyn to born till the age of 26. So New York is my home state. My hometown is Brooklyn, New York. So me coming to Queens, New York, is not too far from Brooklyn. I actually lived in that 26 years of living in New York. There was 2 years that me and my wife, we wanted to get an apartment that was in Brooklyn. We couldn't find any because of availability at that point. So for about two and a half years, I lived in Queens. So I'm familiar with Brooklyn. I'm familiar with Queens. But again, I only lived in Queens out of necessity because nothing at that time available. But I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. And having said that, coming to Queens is a place I'm very familiar with. That is very important and relevant to what I'm going to share with you. So again, this was last Saturday I traveled to watch Darryl Strawberry, number 18, get his jersey retired. Let me give you a little quick of the backstory. Darryl Strawberry is actually the very first celebrity that I actually interviewed. This was about almost just shy of 3.5 years ago. And I credit Darryl to a lot because at that point we were feeling like most entrepreneurs. At the time, it was called the Allen and Aaron Sports Talk Show. We were kind of like getting to a point where most entrepreneurs get to, where it's like, okay, where are we going with this? We've had, some guests on the show. We did have, not a celebrity at that point, but we did have some guests come onto our show, which is awesome. We always had a great time doing our show, but then we had some followers, and then we had met a plateau as to where we're going to go. So we were always kind of hopeful that we could get a celebrity on the show. I felt like it was possible, but where do you call a celebrity? But fate had it. I had got a chance to communicate via social media through Darryl, and we got a chance to get him on the show. And even though that was kind of like I don't know if this is really Darryl, because you never know when you on social media who's on the other side of the computer, especially someone you haven't met physically or shook their hand or talked to. But lo and behold, it was Darryl, and he was
our very first celebrity, and he really bolstered our show because not only did we get a lot of viewers and listeners from that, but he also gave us what we needed, the fact that, hey, it is true we could get a celebrity come on the show. We can actually do this. This is something that we can build off of, and we should just hang in there and keep going forward. Fast forward 3.5 years later, God is amazing. I get a chance to interview celebrities now on a very regular basis. Just Thursday, I interviewed, Thaddeus Bullard, pro wrestler, celebrity, again, celebrity. Ronnie Barber, again, celebrity. And, the week before that, I was in Cooperstown, Ken Griffey Jr., Dave Winfield, Fred McGriff. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But it wasn't like that 3.5 years ago. So you have to count those blessings and those grace when they come. And I gave Darryl my word that I was going to come out there and watch his retirement ceremony. I gave my word back in January where there wasn't even a date. Fast forward, it ended up being last Saturday. Now, I want you to, I had all great intention when I made the promise. Things in life do happen, meaning when I got close to his retirement, I was getting pulled in a lot of directions, which obviously, back in January, things were kind of slow for me as far as events and stuff. Now it's like events all the time. Thankfully, there was no event that was on that weekend, which is great. However, there was other things that were happening personally that was pulling my attention. And it was making it kind of hard for me, I would say, to keep my word. But I am a man of my word, and I kept my word. Traveled from Tampa to New York to watch this event. Let me give you all the positive first. Then I will kind of tell you the side that you probably, you need to know about. But let me start with it first. The weather was fantastic. Dwight Gooden, I kind of wish I could have made his too. But Dwight Gooden was in mid-April, and the weather was, from what I saw, like on TV, I didn't go. It was raining. It looked like it was a little cold. Definitely Darryl worked out with weather. It was slam dunk. It was sunny. It wasn't too hot because I know people had suits on. It wasn't too cold. It was just the right temperature for that. Sunny, not a cloudy day, not overcast. So he got really worked. He really selected the right day. If anything, it was kind of on the hot side. At least, so that was fantastic. The speech was fantastic. I thought he did a marvelous job with that. And the event itself went great. They didn't start exactly at 3:30. They tried to, but, it did start a little bit later than that, but it wasn't anything bad. It went very, very well. They did a lot of great videos. A lot of his former teammates were there. One teammate that was there in particular that I got a chance to interview was Mookie Wilson. I interviewed Mookie Wilson a week prior and asked him about Darryl Strawberry's event. Cool thing was that was in New York at Cooperstown. A week later, he came to the ceremony, and he acknowledged Mookie Wilson, him, as well as the late great Gary Carter, for helping him be a man. Those two guys are outstanding, Gary Carter and Mookie Wilson. Let me give them both a round of applause, and then I'll continue forward with what happened in New York. Yes. Yep. 2 round applause. One was for Mookie, one was for late great Gary Carter. And real quick about Gary Carter, I'm just going to tell you a real quick story about him is that I actually got a chance to meet Gary Carter in Cooperstown, when he was alive. He actually had a flight. He wasn't on my flight, but he was taking a flight leaving the airport the same day we was too. So he was right there in the airport. We wasn't taking the exact same flight because we weren't going to the same destination, but he was leaving the airport. He was sitting down in the airport reading a newspaper, and I asked him for an autograph. At the time, he said he would only sign an autograph if you made a donation. I believe, don't quote me on the price, but I believe it was $35 towards his wife foundation for cancer. I opened up, I would say, all right, no problem, because me and my friend had a pact. We were not coming back with anything unsigned. If somebody charged whatever it was, we were going to pay because it was going to make up for all the stuff that we got for free. We got a lot. But anyway, I think I can't remember the price, but I think he said 35 or 40, whatever it was. I opened up my wallet and I was about $10 or $15 short. At 35, I think I had $20 in my wallet, or $20 or $25. So I was a little short. I said, "This is all I got." And he said, "That's okay. I'll take it." He took it. He signed the item and he gave it to me. And it seemed like he mentally, moved on. That, however, did not sit well with me. I know he hooked me up, and I know that he was okay with everything, but it wasn't cool with me. I just didn't want to feel like, okay, he was collecting money for his autograph for his wife's cancer foundation, and I was like, I just didn't feel right shortchanging him on that. I know it wasn't done on purpose. I honestly went through my wallet. That's all I had was that. I don't usually carry a lot of cash on me just for that reason. Safety reason. I don't believe you need to carry a bunch of cash. You get debit cards and everything is really easy. Well, what I did was I went to the ATM in the airport. I was able to find one, which is not easy in this airport because in Albany Airport, I believe it was kind of small, not too technically advanced. I did find one, believe it or not, in the airport. Took the money out, went, got a drink or something, broke up the money, got the change, looked for Gary Carter in the airport, found him, gave him the difference. I said, "Oh, yeah, I was able to go to ATM. Here you go. Here's the difference." Man, he was so impressed that I did that. You could see on his face. He thanked me. He didn't think I was coming back, and I sure enough did. I proved him wrong. And I'm glad I did that because that was the last time and the only time I met Gary Carter. Unfortunately, Gary Carter has passed away. But, yeah. So he thanked Mookie Wilson. Back to the story. Mookie Wilson was one of the two guys, Gary Carter and Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson thankfully still living. And I could see how those two guys could help Darryl be a man. Very mature, very classy. They're not into the limelight, so to speak. You could just tell, well-raised, well-grounded. And you could tell those two guys didn't let success kind of over-consume them. They still stayed true to who they are, true to what their principles were. Darryl made a great speech. And it was fantastic. It was well delivered, well read. Let me, in fact, before I forget, let me play a clip of, and this is the first time I'm actually sharing any clips of the event, but let me just play this clip here. And this is going to be really cool because it's going to be a good segue into what more I have to offer you here on the show. Yes. And that is a good segue into what I have to say, because this part here, one thing about me is I am not a liar. Alan is not a liar, and this is who I am. In fact, when I first interviewed Darryl, he asked me who you guys are, and most people would have interjected and said, "Hey, I'm such and such. I got 100,000 followers, 100,000 subscribers, yada, yada, yada." They would have basically lied. I'm not a liar. I said, "Hey, this is Alan from the Alan Alfred Sports Talk Show. We're glad to have you. We're excited about it. We're just a new podcast. We're getting started." And then I went into the questions. But I mentioned all the great stuff that happened during Darryl Strawberry, and I definitely don't want to make it about me. It was Darryl Strawberry's day. But I would be remiss and would be lying to you if I told you that this was an enjoyable event for Alan Alfred personally. I will be real with you. It was extremely disappointing. I'm not going to lie. This event was extremely disappointing. And so much so that it's kind of a sore spot for me when I see posts of this retirement. My goal was to keep my word, which I did. I was outside at 10:30 in the morning at Citi Field. Okay? And the reason why I was there was because I was hoping to get inside so I could go ahead and, meet Darryl, at least meet Darryl. And if they were to let me do the media, that would be great. I would have done that too. But at least you get a chance to meet him, just hanging out, shaking his hand would have been fantastic. And I was there early. I was trying to hopefully talk to somebody who did handle the media and let them explain that I do work media. Hey, if you want to let me in, I'll gladly help out. But Darryl is somebody I know and somebody who I've met. He means a lot to me. I was there at 10:30, so much so that I did send a message to Darryl, and I did send a message to let them know that I'm outside. Can you please talk to someone and let them know me in, please? It was Darryl's day. I don't really think that was a big deal, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I was there early. The event didn't start till 3. I knew I was there well before the event. I was at least hoping that they had at least a booth, kind of like how they have here where they handle the media, where you might be at least talk to someone. No, you had to go through the security, and then, typical New York, you had to go through the security, and then for our all the way in, that's when you get a chance to talk to someone. So, I sent a message, didn't get a reply, and I waited outside for 2 hours because, I don't know how long this is going to take. Maybe told someone, hey, my guy's outside. Can you please let him in? Again, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal because it's Darryl's day. They're celebrating him. What made things worse was the first person he thanked was the Coens, who were the owners of the Mets, who, if you would have just asked one of them, hey, can you please let my guy in, they would have probably obliged. And if he would have asked and they would have said no, I would have respected it. But not to even ask was kind of hurtful. I ain't going to lie. I am not going to lie. Not to even ask the question was the part that really hurt. Like, man, I thought we were cool. I thought, we had something here. We will never ask you for anything. I'm out here waiting to get inside, here to support you, here with all the right intentions. You're not going to even ask. So that hurt. I ain't going to lie. It was hurtful, but it also was, if I could put a word to it, extremely disappointing. It was extremely disappointing. Extremely disappointing. Again, people might say, what's the big deal? Well, you didn't wait outside for 2 hours right by the media entrance while everybody's walking past you to go inside. Then on top of it, typical New York style, I was fully transparent with the security guard. I said I did not get approved for media credentials. I didn't even start name dropping, saying Dow's my friend, all that. I didn't even do that. I just said, okay, I'm going to try to see if I can work a way to get in and talk to someone, meaning, send a message to Darryl, see if he can talk to someone and let me in. I said, it's okay while we're waiting. It's okay for me to go outside and just down here where the building is. I've never been to Citi Field before, mind you, and just take some pictures. The guy wouldn't even let me, the security guard wouldn't even let me take pictures of the outside of the building with my professional camera. And mind you, folks, I work in the media. There are a lot of people who work in the media who have better cameras than I do. I don't have the big, long lens. I have a very nice camera. I would say out of 10, it's like a 7.5, 8. But there's guys who have 9, 10s, 11, 12s. You know what I mean? They have ultra cameras. Because with me, when I do media, it's not just, as you've seen, I put videos up. It's not just about pictures. Usually most photographers usually get the best camera they can get. They don't really care much about the video. Some are different, but a lot of them really are more photocentric. So they'll get the best camera, the best lens, the biggest lens, and so on and so forth. I have a very nice camera, but it's a compact, smaller camera. It's not one of these big lenses. It's not anything that, intimidating, so to speak. Wouldn't even let me take pictures on the outside of the building with my camera. And then it kind of got me like thinking like, yo, Mets, you're in last place. Like let me pull up your record. Let's let the numbers talk for themselves. Not even trying to throw shade, but let's take a look at the numbers. Again, I'm from New York, so it wasn't surprising, but it still was disappointing. The Mets are 16.5 games out of first place, 27 wins, 35 losses. The only team that has a worse record is the Marlins, 22 wins, 41 losses. They have 22 games behind. That's the Marlins. The Mets are right above them with 16.5. Like, come on. Get over yourself. What is the big deal if I took pictures on the outside of the building? So I took pictures outside the building, but I honored his request, and I did it with my cell phone. So I couldn't take pictures on the outside of the building. I couldn't really leave because, just in case you do get that blessing, I had to be right by the entrance, which was by the media entrance, which is also the same entrance that a lot of the players, media, a lot of the bigwigs go through. So it wasn't like, general all out there in the field. But yeah, I waited 2 hours, nothing. And then I eventually just said, this is it. I went to the line. Again, I had to kill time, so I took pictures outside with the cell phone. I eventually went in the line and general public line, and it was disappointing. So much so, I did something that is very un-Allen-like. I mentioned I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I would always, anytime I visited New York, whether it's for a day, 2 weeks, no matter what, I would always get myself some jerk chicken, get myself some pizza, some Chinese food, any one of those three. Probably would eat some and then buy some to take on the go. When I had posted up the pictures that I still wasn't going to rain on his parade. Not going to rain on Dale's parade. I still put that on a back shelf, my disappointment. But when I finished putting up those pictures and the game was over, I went in my car and put in back to New York on my GPS and drove back to New York. I did not make a stop to go see any friends, family. I did not stop to get food, which I would normally do, get some of that great New York food. I put in right then and there from Citi Field home and drove right on home because I was disappointed. I was completely disappointed. Then on top of it, style doing Bush League stuff. Guess what? They give the bobblehead the day after the retirement. So I didn't even get a bobblehead. I did, however, pay $40 for food and got a souvenir cup that has a retirement thing on it. So it made me think, it actually made me consider, should I have kept my word at the end of this? That's what I was thinking. Should I have kept my word on this? Like, I did do the right thing here. I did keep my word, and I felt like I got punished for keeping my word. That's how I felt. So let me just show you this video here. And let me do that right now. So it was awesome. 18 years retired. Never going to be worn again. Congratulations, Darryl Strawberry. Not going to rain on someone else's parade. I'm just going to say I was extremely disappointed on this event and the way it turned out for me personally. And it was shocking, but nonetheless, I am very, very proud of Darryl. Congratulations on retirement. Definitely, that was a great accomplishment. Kudos to that. Nothing to take away from the day. It was a beautiful ceremony. They did a wonderful job. They really did. Well done for the Mets on the ceremony. Definitely not giving a bobblehead was to be, that's, and also not allow me to take pictures of the outside of the building was a little like, all right. But I love New York. I will tell that to everybody. But there are some things that I really just shakes your head pretty bad about New York. I will say this much. I love visiting New York. Now that I don't live in New York, and I tell everyone to go visit New York. I do that. I say, hey, man, you got to go visit New York. And I love visiting New York myself. Living in New York, I don't want to live in New York anymore. I said that several times. I have no desire to live in New York. Again, you never say never in life, but I have no desire to live in New York. I love to visit, and unfortunately, this visit wasn't great for me. It was actually pretty sucky. I ain't gonna lie, but I went ahead and kept my word. That's all I kept saying to myself on the way. No matter what, I kept my word. A man is only as good as his word, and I did keep my word. So I was glad I did that, and I could take that to the bank because no one could ever say I did not keep my word. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit, and let me go ahead and hold. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Caitlin Clark incident, okay? Girls, you're being a hypocrite. You wanted the attention. I listened to girls on the WNBA say this way before Caitlin Clark was that, hey, we need more support. We need you guys to watch us. We need more attendance. We need it. Now you're getting all this attention. You're getting somebody who's got a big contract. And that contract is significant because that is going to set the precedent for other great players. Yes, you may not get the Caitlin Clark deal, or you may not have the Caitlin Clark deal, but people, as the pipeline continues to grow, and does the WNBA continue to grow, and it continues to skyward up, yes, maybe your kids or the next generation will be able to play and have more financial security playing in the WNBA. You know, that is part that comes with it. Like, you know, you got to start someplace. And this is a great thing that you have an opportunity to go and ascend. This is what I also think about it like this. Caitlin Clark is getting hate from her teammates, jealousy from people playing against her. It's just too much. Like, why are you hating on her? Okay. Yes, we can all see that she's white. She's got talent. She's got skills. And yes, I know that there has been some black players that have been playing better stats than Caitlin, probably better players than Caitlin. But this is something unique to people, and it's gravitating to them. Sometimes in life, you don't know what sells and what's going to sell. And obviously, Caitlin Clark she's show business. It's selling. It's kind of like the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa 98 home run race. It captivated people. Baseball was reviving. It was a restart because of it. You know, it got rebirth because of it, I would say, because it was dead and because of that strike. This gave it that spark and got people interested, and it's now been ascending since. You got to look at the opportunity and not put yourself above that opportunity, meaning you might be resentful for her for something she didn't do because she's allowed, this capitalistic world, she's allowed to sign a contract. The WNBA offered her a contract. She signed it. She took it. Obviously, that said something. The shoe deal that she got with Nike, they offered her, and she took that too. You can't be resentful of her, in my opinion, because prior to coming to the league, you were playing for many years, and as you stated yourself, nobody's watching. Nobody is much caring. Nobody cares. Even if you were a black counterpart and could slam, you could play better than Caitlin. History has shown it didn't captivate people. Interest. It didn't. People just didn't care. Not to say the product wasn't great, but people caring is another thing. Now people do care. You need to calm down with the cheap shots, the animosity, the anger, the bitterness. Because if Caitlin Clark, fortunately, something does happen when you injure her and she's out for a while, you're going to set WNBA back even further than you are right now. I mean, not right now. I'm saying before Caitlin Clark, you're going to set yourself way back. Go easy on the hating. It's one thing if you give her a rough foul and you're making a basketball play, okay? And I do think this kind of is going to be kind of tough for Caitlin. It's going to make her tougher, but I do think she's going to come out stronger because of this. She may have to, lift a little bit more weight, kind of like with Jordan. And to help her out, if she's listening to this, hey, Jordan, he had the Jordan rules. They would force him to the right. As soon as he went to the right, boom, and they would just lay him out. And they were doing that because, the guy could play. This was the only option they had to really slow him down. And guess what? During the offseason, Michael Jordan bulked up, got some extra strength, and guess what? They couldn't even do the Jordan rules to stop it anymore. So I hope the same happens with Caitlin. She learns from this. It might be a tough, for you to bulk up, of course, during the season, but off season, you got to get a bit more tougher, a little bit more physical, or at least understand more physical play is going to be put on you. And I just think some of the girls are just being angry hypocrites. That's what I think. You're being angry. You're taking your frustration out on her, and it's really frustration that's misdirected. It's misdirected frustration. She didn't do anything. You're unhappy with the league. Hey, at least if you ball out and you play hard, now that there are more eyes, they might leave saying, hey, Caitlin Clark, she had a very good game, but this other girl could play too, and this girl too, and they might remember your name. Might follow you. That's what I'm saying. Back then, when I watched that interview with Kelsey Plum's talking about jersey and profit sharing with selling jerseys, and people dissing her, saying, hey, nobody's buying your jersey anyway. The league is not making any money. How can they give you part of the jersey sale when they're losing money? Guess what? Now it's an opportunity for the league, if they continue upward, to get a profit. And that means there might be an opportunity for more profit sharing with the jerseys. Not that's going to matter to Caitlin Clark because she already got the mega deal. But for the other people in the league, you're taking it's misguided, misinformed, ignorant frustration you're taking out on her. And as far as the teammates, you guys really suck, man. You suck. This is the worst thing is like bad culture. Like that's the worst thing to change is bad culture. You're seeing your teammate getting just abolished. Everybody's there to see her. Take her back, man. That will show to somebody else that you're a good teammate, and maybe they should watch you too. They should put attention to you too, rather than just watching your teammate get blasted. Because let's say you get traded to another team. Are you going to do that to the top player too? Just look the other way? It shows more about you than it does about her. You keep hating on her. Let it go. Girls are great talent. Obviously, people are interested in seeing her. You should make them more interested in you by balling out. So you can kind of get that secondhand attention. Take some of that secondhand attention rather than hating on her. That ain't going to get no attention. You get attention for doing Bush League plays. You want to be known for that? Cheap shots? Come on. Ball out. And in hockey news, you know what? I think the Florida Panthers are going to win this thing. There's going to be a Florida Panthers win against the Oilers. I just think that's going to happen. That's my prediction. And I'm going to get into some boxing news here with you guys. And Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, they get a new date, brand new date. Well, I'm glad that a new date is set. And let me go ahead and discuss this more in details. But let me play another Sam Scola song. Let me do that for you now. All of the Sam Scola songs, great thing, folks, is that you can go ahead. The songs are all sang by Sam Scola and we want to thank Sam Scola Songs and his wife, Mary. All the songs are available on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. That's right. If you go to Facebook and Instagram, the stories, and even Instagram, if you post something, a picture, you can actually put the song there too. Any one of them. And if you want to reach out to Sam Scola Songs, sing along with Sam at gmail.com. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. In fact, I'm going to play a song right now by Sam Scola. It is the Sam Scola theme song. I'm going to play that for you right now. and it's going to be awesome. Let me play that for you right now. All right, so let me cue that up right now. All right, so that's Sam Scola songs. Make sure you thank you, Sam Scola, and his wife Mary, for the awesome tunes, awesome music there. Sing along with Sam at gmail.com. Definitely is always great to deal with Sam Scola songs, that's for sure. So there you go. And yeah, so I'm going to talk a bit about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. The first fight got rescheduled because Mike Tyson had flare up because of his ulcer, and he had to go ahead and postpone the fight. I know Jake Paul was gutted because of it. He was upset, but this is unfortunately what happens when you're fighting someone in their 50s. You're fighting a man that's 56 years old. As much as I would like to think, I'm not at the 50 yet, but I would say as much as I would like to think or hope that age does not matter, unfortunately, I'm reminded that age does matter. Meaning you can still feel great, you can be in great shape, but it doesn't change the fact that your bones, your body knows what age you are. Of course, that breaks down faster due to genetics and other factors involved, of course, but if you're running a 40-yard dash, if you're running it at 56 years old or 50, 30, it's going to be very different when it's 21, 22, 24, 25. I was at the Bucs. I appeared in the Bucs commercial, the Solis. They interviewed me when they had the Solis health plan, and I was able to attend that event, even though I didn't technically meet the 50-plus year old category. They let me attend, which was really cool. But I did the 40-yard dash. The kids did too. When I did that 40-yard dash, not only was my time nowhere near as good as it used to be, I was like, man, my body kind of hurts doing this 40-yard dash. It did. I was like, I had like a senior moment. I was like, man, it reminded me what age I am. So you're dealing with someone, you're fighting, your opponent is 56 years old. I know he's Mike Tyson, but yes, these things do happen. And hopefully the next fight doesn't get postponed because of something else. Hopefully it doesn't. But it should be entertaining. I actually worked, not hoping someone gets hurt or anything like that, but it did work in my favor that it is moved back towards the end of the year because there is actually a potential that I can make this fight. And it's in Arlington, so that should be cool. It's set for November 15th, which is cool. And because it's not Thanksgiving week, so we will see. I will try to make it. Xander Zayas, he has a fight this weekend. I always got Xander winning because it's in New York State. He loves to fight in New York State. And that's my hometown right there. So should be great. And so I got Xander Zayas winning. And, also there was the funny thing I have about it is Adrian Broner has a fight this weekend, but it is pay-per-view, which was laughable to me that Adrian Broner would have a pay-per-view fight at this point in his career, and also the fact that he has trouble keeping weight. He also, there's a lot going on with Adrian Broner. But yes, I was a little bit surprised and laughing that he has a pay-per-view fight. I can't pick Adrian Broner. I'm sorry. You don't know what you're getting with him. It can be there's always something with him. And Adrian Broner, when I look at him, is a very good boxer who was on a trajectory to be, I wouldn't say the next Floyd, but definitely taking under his Floyd belt and been a guy that was going to win at least 35, 40 fights in a row without really just having too much of an issue. He had that type of talent, but he took the things too seriously, like the way Floyd, I think, sold to the camera that he's chilling, he's just hanging out, partying and all that stuff, and it was all access. But the reality, I knew he was going and hitting the gym. Adrian Broner didn't get that message. And Adrian Broner took the hanging out, partying thing way to another level, and he made more of that his life than focusing on boxing. And that's unfortunate because if he was keeping things straight and narrow, he would probably be around 40-something-0. And now his pay-per-view fight this weekend will be very significant. But it was just kind of laughable to me that it's a pay-per-view fight, but it is available. I still cannot pick Adrian Broner. He's just too risky of a guy to pick. But having said that, I'm going to go ahead and thank our wonderful callers. Thank you so much, Lou, for calling in today. Appreciate you. Definitely want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. Want to thank Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce. Thank you so much for being a wonderful sponsor. CTC ME Mortgage. Thank you for being such a wonderful sponsor as well. And thank you so much, Pushpin Adventures. Definitely, you can reach them all. Let me go down that list there. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, so delicious and addicting. You may need a support group. You can reach him at 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida, or at flbbqsauce.com, flbbqsauce.com. CTCME Mortgage. You can reach Kurt McCrae. He's your man. Call or text 346-527-7564. And you can visit their website at ctcmemortgage.com. And then we have Pin Adventures. Go ahead and travel. You give her a call, Monique, 626-838-1006, 626-838-1006. Or you can visit Pushpin Adventure at pushpinadventures.com/virgin, pushpinadventures.com/virgin. So let me go ahead and play the Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song. So delicious and addicting. You may need a support group. So definitely let's go ahead and play Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce song by Sam Scola Songs. Let me play that for you right now.
Counting for variety, Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, a natural flavor. Chef G's Florida Barbecue Sauce, Florida Gold Honey Mustard on burgers and ribs, tasty fusion on pork and sausage, a classic cookout tree. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Serve on fish and vegetables. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce.
I'm on mute. There you go. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. And let me just back up a little bit. So, yes, thank you all, guys, for watching a great episode of the Allen Alfred Sports Talk Show. Make sure you don't forget to get that sauce right there. Chef G's Florida barbecue sauce. 301 South 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida. FLBBQSauce.com. FLBBQSauce.com. I want to thank our great sponsors, CTC ME Mortgage. I want to thank also great sponsor, Pushpin Adventures as well. Make sure you visit. Give Kurt McCray a call, 346-527-7564, 346-527-7564. Or you can call Monique for your travel, 626-838-1006, 626-838-1006, or pushpinadventures.com. So thank you again for watching another great episode of the Allen Alfred Sports Talk Show. Stay tuned, stay connected. A lot more to come. But in the meantime, you guys have a great weekend. Be blessed, be well, and take care of yourself for now.
It's the end of the Spot Talk Show. Let's thank all the fans before we go. It's the end of the Spot Talk Show. The Allen Alford Spot Talk Show. Thank our special guest. Thanking our sponsors.